Some people think that a sure way to spot a Utahn is to observe their pronunciation of the word C-R-E-E-K. They're positive that only Utahns say crick instead of creek. Let me give you a written example of this pronunciation, but in context. Just as I was passing a place where a kind of cow path crossed the crick, here comes a couple of men tearing up the path as tight as they could foot it. The author spelled it as crick, which tells you a Utahn wrote it, right? Well, if that's true, then Tom Sawyer is from Utah, since Mark Twain put this pronunciation into his Missouri character's mouth. The truth is, crick isn't limited to Utah. This pronunciation shows up in Merriam-Webster's dictionary, and in the Harvard Dialect Survey, the blue points here indicate the crick pronunciation scattered all over the country, especially in the northern part. Another problem with using the pronunciation of crick as a guide to distinguish Utahns from non-Utahns is that not all Utahns say it that way. In Lillie's 1997 survey, only 31% of her participants gave creek the crick pronunciation. By the way, it was more common among older Utahns and among those from the central and southern regions of the state. Okay, so if it's not crick, how about saying roof as roof? In my 2020 survey, only about 20% of Utahns claimed the roof pronunciation, and that rendering was a bit more prevalent among men and Utahns from rural areas of the state. Once again, the Harvard Dialect Survey shows it's not limited to Utah. Look at the blue points. Okay, so those words may not be great gauges, but how about pronouncing T-O-U-R as tour instead of tour? As in, is the band back on tour? The tour pronunciation is definitely fully entrenched in the state, there is no doubt, especially among younger Utahns. In 2020, 56% of the 18 to 19-year-olds gave it the tour pronunciation, while only 43% of those 50 and over did. It's also somewhat more common in the central part of the state. One interesting aspect of the tour pronunciation is that it appears to serve as a kind of in-group marker. So check out this graph. Members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints use tour more often than tour, while those Utahns who are not members are slightly more likely to say tour. I don't have data from any national survey related to the pronunciation of tour. But when I searched the internet, I found a lot of people commenting about the tour rhyming with core, the tour pronunciation, in the speech of people from New Jersey, Ohio, California, New York, the East Coast, and Canada as well, which leads me to be fairly confident that it's not unique to Utah. In fact, it's not unique to the U.S. either. The Oxford Learner's Dictionary lists both tua and toa as British pronunciations. So, is there anything truly unique in Utah? Of course there is, but that's a story for another episode.